Welcome back to Artifact Cup 30. This is Coercer versus Noneyadambus. This is, as always, Major Pactu speaking. And this is Artifact Cup 30, so as I mentioned in the previous video, this is a round-robin tournament, not a single elimination tournament. So both the winner and the loser from this game will go on to play the same number of games, and this map, the Shallows, was predetermined for them, as was the matchup. And this is also going to be a best of one between the two. So we're just going to find out briefly between Coercer and Noneyadambus who will take this one game and earn a point. So we're watching from the perspective, not that it matters a whole lot, of Noneyadambus, who's in the Coalition carrier. Looks like he's going for an RU open, going to take out his base runner. I'm expecting we'll see some, I don't know. Actually, I don't know what I'm expecting from Noneyadambus. AEVs? I don't think I know him well enough. And on the other side of the map is Coercer in the Galcian carrier. And Coercer is a fun player to play against. I'm expecting we're going to see carrier shenanigans just because that's what I always expect from Coercer, but you never know. He's been getting a little more crafty lately, opening up CUs here, so maybe we'll see some kind of assault ship open or something like that. He's also very quickly opening up, before even getting RU salvagers out, he's opening up resources over here in this bulkhead. So pretty good, solid eco open, and we're going to see what he does with it. Refinery mode, it looks like, is what he's going to do with that.
Just when we were getting comfortable.
Worth noting that he has retired his base runner, which is an interesting choice on Shallows. The Shallows is a pretty small map as far as artifact running is concerned. There's a pretty short distance here between the artifacts, which are all themselves close together, and the extraction zone. So it's an interesting choice on the Shallows because it means that he's really just going for like brute force map control, but not going to take advantage of the map control per se. It's like he doesn't care even about this portion of the map in the middle. He just cares about this. He cares about the enemy base. So it's a gutsy move, and we'll see if it pays off.
Online. Light attack vehicle enhancements online.
Go for carrier. Secure vehicle for move.
Noneyadambus, meanwhile, is also opening up a remote spot and placing a turret. This is an interesting choice. Let's see. Does this turret have good sight lines? It does. So I think this turret will guard this extraction zone, or not this artifact, excuse me. And will also guard this approach here. It's like a little crevice here that units cannot traverse over, but you can see over. So it's a nice alternative on some of these maps to a dune. Looks like it's got pretty good coverage there to be able to see, and pretty good coverage over here too. So this is a good defensive turret. It is possible to get around. You know, if Coercer were to approach with sand skimmers from over here, it might not shoot over this dune, and so sand skimmers could sit in here and kill the salvagers in here. But overall, it's a nice little surprise. It might make Coercer think twice if he wants to raid with these sand skimmers. It might block some of those attacks. I'm also not sure that it's actually going to protect this zone very well. But it's hard to find a turret that does everything, especially... Yeah, it looks like that turret won't quite get over there. But
we're cleared to move.
this is a nice little hill to use in the Shallows. A lot of times people don't really notice it because it's just kind of not... It's not a huge dune or anything like that, but it does provide line of sight blocking so that when enemies are collecting here, you can hide behind here, or if you're assaulting, you can hide right behind it and just kind of poke over to shoot. So, pretty handy. There's a second turret post out here, so this is weird. The first turret I thought was pretty good. This second turret, I don't think is as good a placement. I would have put this like over here to get much more coverage. I mean, the two turrets, if they fire at once, are going to be really good, but I don't think that these turrets are in a position to fire at once against most things, because this one is just a little... The second one over here is a little too far behind the dune, so it's going to like fire back here, but there's a hill blocking that anyway, so...
Runner copies.
Yeah, I would have placed that turret much differently. It'll be interesting to see if Noneyadambus continues with the turret strategy, because against certain unit compositions, turrets can be a huge pain. But, you know, if this turret was, like, over here instead, then these approaching units would just be slaughtered. As it is, they're going to probably be able to get in and raid those resources.
Visual unconfirmed. Border salvager has been engaged. Ready.
Noneyadambus also has a support cruiser up by the turrets, which I guess it makes sense if he's trying to keep the turrets alive, but I think he's missing out on too much by having the support cruiser far away from the salvagers. You really, at this point in the game, you want resource efficiency, and having all these resources remote mine is not efficient at all. It'd be much better to just have the support cruiser behind there and then pay the cost of replacing the turrets when they do die. So not a whole lot going to happen here with these skirmishes. An assault ship coming out now, or arriving now for Coercer, so hopefully the carrier can deal with that. But still, these turrets have not actually seen any action. Coercer is just running around them. Finally, a turret's going to fire and do some damage on those assault ships, but yes, this is probably a better turret. But that said, you know, having a turret up here would have helped much more than that second turret over here to be able to block against incursions here, and the support cruiser could have been repairing that turret as it were. So interesting strategy here from Noneyadambus. I don't know how it'll play out just because of the placements, but turret placement is very difficult in DOK, so I don't want to act like it's easy. It is very tricky. Sometimes you think that you're placing it on top of the hill, and then you get something like this where it's actually just facing backwards. And they can turn around, but you've still got line of sight to worry about. So this turret over here,
Hostiles designated. Trackers assigned.
it's not really on the high ground, and it's blocked a bit, but it can get some shots off. You see it's hitting the ground a lot.
All systems go. Clear out.
It's enough to at least warn and do some damage against these assault ships. You know, if these were assault railguns, maybe they would be able to fire without getting hit by the turret, but assault ships, a little too short range for that.
Taking fire.
So what's on the tech here for Coercer? Coercer's got aircraft. So aircraft are really the natural counter to these turrets.
Reading you, command. Prep for displacement.
Noneyadambus could place AA turrets. They're a little more expensive.
Send your message.
He's placing more gun turrets, which I think is a mistake at this point, because Coercer definitely knows about these, and he's not going to just let this be built. He's going to build a force that can actually destroy these turrets. Aircraft is the perfect choice for that. Artillery is also a really good choice for that. So having an AA turret here or some missile ships would be really good for Noneyadambus. And keeping your carrier closer to the resource extraction point would really help here. You keep moving this way too far away, and that makes it very difficult for your salvagers to get back and drop stuff off. Similarly, the support cruiser really needs to be right here. These turrets are not damaged. There's 4 of them. So here are the aircraft coming in, and they're just going to go straight for the support cruiser. So aircraft, they don't care about the turrets. They could destroy the turrets if they wanted to, but they can also just destroy everything behind the turret lines. So the lack of an AA turret here is really going to hurt Noneyadambus, because Coercer don't care. He's just going to kill what he can kill. Even if it's not the turrets, he's going to kill these big stationary support cruisers and further cripple the resourcing of Noneyadambus. It'd be really cool also to see Siege Cruiser Fab come out for Coercer, just because it's the natural counter to these turrets. You can just kind of sit behind these rocks and bombard all these stationary targets down.
Go for carrier.
Noneyadambus, meanwhile, going for Assault Cruiser Fab, and I gotta say, I think he probably just likes Assault Cruisers. It doesn't really make sense as a counter here. Assault Cruisers are typically good in really narrow spaces because they're a little shorter range, and when fighting lots of strike craft like sand skimmers or LEVs. And in this situation, Coercer is bringing aircraft and assault ships to bear. So armor, against armored units, you really want railguns or some other kind of unit there. There's finally an anti-air turret post here, so this is good, but he's going to need more. He's going to need, like... Good, he's got another one queued up. He's going to need, like, 6 AA posts in order to really, like, actually do anything against Coercer's large air force, especially because precision bombers are coming in, and, like, a single bomb could take out both of these turrets at once, or take out a support cruiser, and Coercer is running around the side here, so even if these AA turret posts do something, I mean, let's watch. Do these AA turret posts actually fire? These aircraft are rallying here. There will be some AA firing here, so this is good. But 2 salvagers go down, and do the missiles even connect? Yeah, okay, 1 fighter goes down. All right, so that might be a good trade for Noneyadambus to kill a fighter there. That was a really good fighter micro here from Coercer.
Hostile strike by
Oh
circulation.
man, just only one missile gets off
Alert.
for the AA turrets, and meanwhile, just huge numbers of missiles are coming out from these aircraft. So yeah, Noneyadambus' AA is doing something, but the oh man,
Fleet logistics module out. Fleet
the micro is
capacity
pretty
deployable
strong
now.
here on Coercer's aircraft. I think he lost 2 aircraft there. Meanwhile, some logistics units went down, some salvagers went down, a lot of damage being done to Noneyadambus, and he keeps, you know,
PDA active.
let's put it this way. This area right here, Noneyadambus has. He's got a support cruiser repairing all these turrets, he's got a turret post, he's got turret posts. There's absolutely nothing that's going to kill this except, you know, artillery. But everything else is very vulnerable, and Coercer knows it. So, you know, instead of these turrets posts being clumped up there, you know, having one here, having one here, having one back here, all behind dunes, so that they can't be hit by conventional units. All of them, you know, relatively near turrets. Having the turrets kind of out in front helps. Pull the support cruiser back and get more resourcing.
On our way.
Coercer is not touching your turrets.
Alert, down.
He's killing your resources. Yeah, this AA turret needs to be like way back here, so that when Coercer runs his aircraft back here, they're still being fired upon. There needs to be like, instead of a concentrated zone of AA fire, there needs to be a larger zone where Coercer just can't go without being hit. It needs to be that when he's approaching a target, he's already got like 3 or 4 missiles headed his way.
Fleet logistics module out.
Carrier here.
I would also say Noneyadambus is
Hostile forces are
missing
attempting to extract an artifact.
a unit to actually really, you know, consume a lot of these RUs. Assault ships could be coming out for Noneyadambus if he chooses to build them, and assault cruisers. And he's researching assault cruiser AA, but I don't know how good that is. I mean, a bomber will take out an assault cruiser, and Coercer's researching railguns, and the
Assault
real
cruiser
reason that
anti-air
this
missile system
doesn't
enabled.
work, and by this I mean large, you know, even
Proceed to
if
rally point.
these
Secure
large groups of
location
turrets,
marked.
even if Noneyadambus had spread them out, even if he
Rally
had the
point
turrets
set.
placed
Move to
the way
location.
that I would recommend, I think it doesn't work because you lose map control. These are 3 artifacts that, well, maybe not 3. Maybe this artifact is really truly covered here by the turrets, but these other 2 artifacts, Coercer can grab with impunity. There's nothing from Noneyadambus as far as a military. He's building 2 assault cruisers, and these are going to be like the first military units that Noneyadambus builds. Otherwise, it's all turrets and replacement support cruisers for when he loses support cruisers because the turrets aren't in the right place. So, yeah, turrets can work. Turrets are really powerful, but in order for turrets to be super powerful in this map, if you want to place, like, you know, 5 turrets and 4 AA turrets, what you do is you place a turret here, you place one here, you place one here, you place one here, you place one, you know, here, I guess. Like, you control the middle zone, you make it so that artifact capture is impossible. And then you use the AA turrets very, you know, more defensively. You put like 1 in the middle here, you put like 1 back here, 1 back here, or 1 back here. You make it so that you can't kill the turrets with air, and you use conventional forces to make it so that nobody tries to kill your turrets normally. The turrets, just a pure turret strategy doesn't really work. Oh man, siege cruiser. This is what I want to see. This is the breaker. This is the
Fire on the move.
the siege cruisers are very well named. They really are the siege unit.
We have real-time scans coming. Hostile railgunners opened up.
This is the thing where that's going to allow Coercer to just totally besiege this entire zone. So he's already targeted this turret over here.
Set new heading.
He said, yep, that siege cruiser is going to take out these turrets. And these assault cruisers are going to go back and repair, maybe. We'll see. But they should be focusing this siege cruiser down. The siege cruiser is the killer unit here.
Anti-air turret under fire.
Because, as I said, it can just sit right behind here
New coordinates
and just
verified.
fire on all of these turret posts. And there's absolutely nothing that Noneyadambus can do about it. Not even the support cruiser repairing the turrets in real time can actually save them. Especially if a barrage were to come down here. That'd be a really good use of
Enemy armor
the
on
siege cruiser's
approach.
time. So assault ships from Coercer are going to tangle with these assault cruisers, and there's some decent damage being done there, especially because they're clustered up. And the siege cruiser is going to take some damage here, but I'm guessing that Coercer is going to win this fight.
Assault cruiser ready for
A couple siege cruisers here now that are actually going to be able to take out the second assault cruiser. So now with 2 siege cruisers, there's just absolutely...
Reporting.
Hostile forces have recovered an artifact.
There's no aircraft here. There's no battle cruiser tech. You know, if there was something more potent here from Noneyadambus, I'd be like, okay, you know, maybe there's something here. But look at this double barrage on the turret zone.
Support cruiser under immediate fire support on that position.
You know, with the support cruiser here, like, these might get repaired, maybe. But there are turrets going down, and the support cruiser is taking a ton of damage. The assault cruiser is taking damage. And you know, they don't need to barrage to kill the turrets. They just need vision. So there's a huge number of sand skimmers here. If you could just get some sand skimmers in poked around, or maybe some aircraft to poke around in there, those turrets are all dead.
Fire on the move.
Another assault cruiser going down. I really don't think assault cruisers are solo units.
Alert. Assault cruiser lost.
We lack sufficient RUs.
Stick to your assignment. Attention. I don't want any
Building, instead of building all these assault cruisers, building 2 battle cruisers and just running up would be really good. Coercer doesn't have railguns, so this carrier is safe. Nothing can kill this carrier right now. Oh, except maybe Coercer's carrier. Still, a couple battle cruisers would do great. Oh, it's just disgusting. Look at all that. He doesn't even have to see this stuff, and he knows that almost all the turrets are dead.
Ready for order. Display.
This is like the 4th assault cruiser that's gonna die. You know, if you just had 4 assault cruisers, that actually might be more potent. Also worth noting, Noneyadambus has a huge resource flow. This is a massive amount of resources, and he's not building to defeat this. You know, if I had to pick up for Noneyadambus here at some point, spending all of those CUs on something like LAVs, or rather than building the assault cruisers, just building railguns even. You know, now that there's siege cruisers out, it's kind of too late, but when there are 3 siege cruisers assaulting your position, you just can't be defensive. You have to strike out and be fast. You know, having LAVs, just a huge swarm of them hitting the resourcing back home for Coercer, that would be a good move. That all said, I think the game is pretty much over. Coercer has a carrier that could single-handedly capture this entire base from Noneyadambus, even without all the aircraft that are inside of it. So Coercer is sort of playing with his food or just playing it safe, one or the other. He may not have vision into here to be able to see just how much damage he's been doing with his siege, and he also knows that there's no rush. I mean, he can just ferry the artifact and win. Looks like Coercer's going to finally sort of close in here, moving all of these units, moving the sand skimmers in, which is going to take a huge amount of damage.
All hands. Alert. Anti-air turret post lost. Receiving. Move through this hostile. Alert. Assault cruiser lost. Confirmed.
There you have it. There are no turrets and no assault cruisers for Noneyadambus, and Coercer has everything.
Stand by.
Alert. Carrier is taking fire. Enemy fighters have engaged. Impact. Alert. Carrier hull at 50% integrity.
Hostile forces are attempting.
And enough sand skimmers did get in to do some damage there, so that's
Enemy
cool.
railgun firing on friendly. Our carrier.
It looks like aircraft are going to be what destroys the carrier of Noneyadambus. So, that was Coercer versus Noneyadambus, and both players will go on to the next map. I don't remember exactly which one that is, but we're going to continue watching all of these Shallows matchups in Artifact Cup 30. Thank you for watching.